Ellen McCauley and Pray It Off in Syracuse, New York. We are a weight loss group, but one of the things we have to do every day to survive is eat. I mean, maybe we can miss a day or two, but food is necessary to live. So, we're talking about losing weight though, and there's many different plans. We've talked about Whole30, we've talked about Mediterranean, and one thing that we don't give enough time to is some other plans, such as the vegetarian plan, or the pescatarian plans, or the volumetrics, which is not that widely known, but it's very, very good as a lifestyle. And some people are like semi-vegetarians, where they mostly eat fruits and vegetables and they have a little meat. We're going to talk about that. But I want to ask this question first. I can do anything for one day. You know, if I was told I could not eat for one day, I could do that. If I was told I couldn't watch TV for one day, I could do that. If I was told I couldn't use my phone for one day, I could do that. Would most of you agree that you could do just about anything for one day?
Yes.
So let's look to see whether we could be a vegetarian for one day, okay? Let's see what it looks like. For breakfast, you can have some cereal, and I don't mean Captain Crunch, some yogurt and fruit, and a piece of fresh fruit, the half cup of fat-free yogurt, and they say Cheerios, Corn Flakes, Special K, and add 3 chopped Brazil nuts. 3, not 30, 3, okay? And then for lunch, a whole meal pita or roll, some fat-free hummus. Several people said they hate hummus. Well, don't put it on there. I love it. Mixed greens, and I didn't love it. But you spend 15 years in Pray It Off, and you can't eat this, and this. All of a sudden, hummus tastes pretty good, you know? So mixed green salad and a tablespoon of fat-free dressing and fresh fruit. For dinner, it's called quick vegetable curry. A large onion, 2 teaspoons of curry powder, and then you're sitting out there going, I don't like curry. Don't put it in there, okay? 7-ounce canned tomatoes, frozen mixed vegetables, or better yet, fresh, vegetable broth and stock. I always use the sodium-free. It tastes just as good. 2 tablespoons of fat-free plain yogurt, and serve with a cup of cooked rice. I like cauliflower rice, and top with yogurt. You don't have to get a honker cauliflower and get a ricer and sit there and do it. You can buy bags already done of bird's eye cauliflower rice. Now you got to be careful because the plain has very low sodium. But you start jazzing it up with some of these other things like, oh, look at, they have sweet potatoes in it. Oh, they have this. And you know what else they have? A lot of sodium. Always look at labels. So put it on some cooked cauliflower rice. And then for dessert, chopped melon. Do you notice it doesn't say with vanilla ice cream on top and 2 cookies on the side? And then you can have some fat-free milk or equivalent and some fresh fruits, and it only comes to $12.50. Anyone in this room who has $12.50 a day is going to lose at least 1 pound if you keep it up. So, does anyone think that a modified something like this they could do for one day? Yeah, so that's a thought. Let's talk about a little bit more about being a vegetarian. Now, there's some people at work, we have a whole nutrition unit, and many of them are vegetarians, and they've been vegetarians for 10, 15, 20 years. You know what they're not?
Fat.
Fat! They're not fat! That's amazing! Wow! And they eat all the time. They're always eating something. And you see the honker lunches they have. Honker. All right, and let's talk about that, because everyone likes the thought of honker lunches. Okay. But, however, switching to a vegetarian diet does not mean that you will lose weight, because a lot of people on vegetarian diets still have dairy, and dairy can be deadly. I had one vegetarian friend who was fat because all she did was eat Oreos, and she would like break it off, suck out the little middle, eat the cookies, and I mean Oreo, because they were vegan. Oreos are vegan. So, but she was very chunky. And so cheese, you got to be careful about having too much of the full fat cheese. So, if we look at a high-fat, high-calorie meal option for a vegetarian diet, there can be a whole wheat tortilla with 3 ounces of cheese, fried peppers, onions, and tomatoes. And one member last night fried up, not like steamed, peppers and onions and peppers, onions, whatever, and it was delicious. All right, and they had tomatoes, apple, 2% milk, and then the vegetables stir-fried in 1/4 cup oil. You can add tofu, that gives you the protein. When you put tofu in there, you don't taste it. You do not taste it. It takes on the taste of the food you're with. You know what's so funny? This is the best group in the world, and they never talk. You guys never talk when I talk, unless I'm talking about food. And Bob and I even talked about it one night going home. He goes, every time you talk about food, they can't shut up. Talking about this. You ever had that one about tofu? Oh, I eat tofu. How about you? You like it? Okay. So let's look on the other side. You got the same tortilla, but 1 ounce part skim cheese, steamed peppers, onions, and tomatoes, refried or boiled beans, apple, and some soy or non-fat milk, and then you can just put some seasonings in there. And there's benefits to being a vegetarian. You're getting rid of red meat. And the thing is, if we were in 1800 and we were eating a steak, that would be a completely different steak than eating it in 2023. Because there are so many chemicals in the feed. There's so many hormones in the feed. The steak you would have in 2023 is not the natural steak you would have in 1800. So you have to be very careful. And just naturally, it's higher in fat. Anyone who eats a diet very heavy with red meat has to be careful about heart disease. Some vegetarians avoid all red meat, all seafood, and all poultry. And they are true vegetarians. They just have fruits and vegetables, and some of them are dairy. Some of them have dairy. Many of these, especially the ones that don't have dairy, have very low cholesterol levels, and they eat a lot of soluble fiber like oats and squash and carrots and beans and apples, lower blood pressure. Salt has been identified as the main cause of high blood pressure. That's why I always say to the group, look at the sodium, look at the sodium, look at the sodium. And so many people who do those diets online where they can type in their stuff they're eating and it calculates, the sodium's off the chart. It's like 3,500, 4,500 a day. You got to really watch that. People who are mainly vegetarians have lower blood pressure, as I said. It controls diabetes. And so many foods prevent cancer, such as broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower. I've learned to love all those things. When I grew up, we had fish sticks, French fries, macaroni and cheese, spaghetti. We weren't eating a lot of cruciferous vegetables in Hunky Heights. We didn't. Elimination of toxins from the body. There are so many preservatives in most packaged and processed food. And when you eat naturally and drink water, you just eliminate them from your body, and you end up having a more natural body and having easier digestion and easier elimination. Your overall health is better. So you can have a healthy 1,500 calorie vegetarian meal plan. Now, if you go on this and you say, you know, Ellen, I didn't lose any weight after a few weeks, you might want to go down to 1,300. Everyone's body is different. Some people can have, I see what some of you eat, and I'm not a jealous person, but I kind of hate you because you're losing 2 pounds and you're having cookies and pizza, and I'm like, what? I'd be gaining 10 pounds. Everyone's different. Everyone's metabolism's different, and you have to look at yourself and look at what you're doing and see how you can change. Vegans or strict vegetarians eat only foods from plant sources. And then there's lacto-vegetarians who include dairy products. Then there's lacto-ovo who eat dairy products and eggs. And then there's pescatarians who eat seafood. And then there's fruitarians. Please silence your cell phone. And then there's semi-vegetarians, which I think most of you could do a good job of being. Where let's say you say, you know what, Monday through Thursday is boring as heck. I'm gonna be a vegetarian, and then I'm gonna have like a burger on a, without a bun, on a lettuce wrap on a Friday, or not during Lent, but on Saturday. And you can lose weight. Let me just give you another idea of a vegetarian meal plan. For breakfast, you can have a cup of oatmeal sprinkled with some wheat germ. Bob started eating, I love oatmeal, but it doesn't like me. I can't eat most foods without getting fat. What was it, oatmeal you bought? Wasn't it high protein?
High protein, yeah.
It's called high protein oatmeal. So you can get oatmeal that's got more protein. An apple, pear, cup of skim milk, or low-fat milk. You can have a mixed fruit salad over 2 cups of salad greens. Nothing's better than fruit on a salad with a little oil and vinegar. Delicious. Afternoon snack, some low-fat yogurt, a cup. See, this is where we're looking. We're not talking about huge. A cup of cooked whole wheat and regular pasta for dinner with some tomato sauce and some soy meatballs. You can buy soy meatballs, and you put some sauce on it. It was so funny because remember a few weeks ago, I gave that recipe for that tilapia or whitefish twist that had the sauce on the apples, and one person at one of the tables said, I just don't like fish, and another person said, just put more sauce in apples. You don't even taste the fish, and I thought that was so funny because it's so true. Sometimes, if you put more things on it, some of the things that you like, tofu, if you mix it in, you don't even taste it. And then an evening snack is some salsa with baked tortilla chips, 8 tortilla chips, not 18, not 8, okay? And then you can add some different spices, some different things. It's just easy to do. And I'm gonna stop right there, Bobby.